In Abuja, Chimdema Ndubisi, NTA News.
As Nigerian Christians and non-Christians prepare for the Christmas, they have been told to continually seek God's face and directions so that he can bring the nation out of recession and bless the nation. General Overseer Gospel Light Redemption Church, Reverend Isaac Oriaki, gave this message in a program to mark end of year. Ifeanyi Azumba reports.
The program, which is a quarterly event, brings ministers of God together to deliberate on how to move the ministry of God forward. Reverend Oriaki also emphasized on believers remaining steadfast in God no matter the situation.
The Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, has released more results of the Rivers State National Assembly rerun elections. Judge Thompson Sekibo of People's Democratic Party emerged winner of Rivers East Senatorial District election. He scored 93,098 votes, while Andrew Uchendu of All Progressive Congress APC scored 34,193 votes. Also in the Rivers West Senatorial District, Osinaka Idelzen of PDP won the election. He polled 107,166 votes, while Otalamba Dan Amakiri of APC scored 45,898 votes. INEC has thus released the results of the 3 senatorial districts conducted in Rivers State. Nigeria cannot have a strong democracy if urgent steps are not taken to allow total political reform. This was the opinion of guests on NTA's Good Morning Nigeria program. While analyzing the Rivers rerun elections, which they say was relatively peaceful, but for the death of some police personnel, Aisha Ubali reports.
Time that a supplementary election is being conducted in Rivers State. The process were, however, marred by violence and irregularities, mostly attributed to the deliberate actions of the main stakeholders. Guests on the program said Rivers people must begin to talk on whether or not they want true democracy, where the people will allow the process to be freely practiced.
Like I said earlier, we had 42 incidents, but these incidents were restricted to Akokutoro, Gukana, Eleme, Eche. In fact, like I said earlier on, we are going back to Eche today to conclude the elections.
So in security balance, the amount of energy you could use in conducting an election in a particular environment is equal to the same amount of energy you use in conducting a general election. Elections are opportunity for citizens to enter into some kind of social contract with leaders who will come back and be accountable to them in terms of what they do and what they don't do.
Armed, carry arms to the polling units for whatever reason. I think it is known as a rule of engagement. Now, you saw many of those people within. And what's annoying is that they simply wear vests that are printed SAS, come in hill-up vehicles, you know, and we've continued to say, look, how do you tag a man who is wearing a black vest with his tag? He has no name tag.
Despite the reported problem of logistics, electorates in the hard-to-reach areas who have in the past denied right to exercise their franchise were this time around given the opportunity to participate. Issues with card readers was less, but the apprehension and fear of uncertainty were said to dampen the spirit of some voters. The guests said they hope to see elections in Rivers State that would be free of violence, where ballot boxes will be safe and voters and security personnel conduct themselves in line with the provisions of the law. In Abuja, Aisha Uba Ali, NTA News.
Muslim faithful in Lagos joined their counterparts across the globe to commemorate Maulud Nabi as Minister of Agriculture on revamping the economy. Let's join Abdullahi in our Lagos Center.
Afternoon, Tessie, and thanks for joining us here in Lagos. The Nigeria Bar Association, NBA, says it is committed to the protection and promotion of fundamental rights of every Nigerian citizen, as enshrined in the 1999 Constitution. The NBA President Abubakar Mahmood says these at the World Press Conference in Lagos in commemoration of the International Human Rights Day. Vera Chuba has more.
The United Nations has designated 10th of December every year as the Human Rights Day. Its basic principles are articulated in the United Nations Declaration of 1948. These principles have been encapsulated in the African Charter on Human and People's Rights and other international conventions and protocols. Observance of the fundamental and inalienable rights of persons all over the world is meant to ensure a just world. The NTA President, Abubakar Mahmoud, said NTA is deeply worried about the huge loss of lives and property as a result of insurgency, violent crimes, corruption, and extrajudicial killings that contradict the true existence of human rights. He said an independent, effective, and efficient legal system is a key component in the promotion of rule of law and protection of human rights.
It's a diverse country with diverse ethnic groups, with diverse religious groups. It's very important that our citizens and our institutions and our governments understand the need to respect the rights of every other person.
The NDA president appealed to the federal government to live up to its constitutional duty by restoring value and meaning to life through protection of lives and property.
Obedience to court orders is a basic fundamental requirement. Court orders which sometimes are conflicting and which sometimes may appear absurd, but the duty of the government is to obey such orders or to, in accordance with due process, challenge those orders by way of appeals.
This year's Human Rights Day theme calls on everyone to stand up for someone else's rights. In Lagos, Viera Chumuba, NTA News.
The expansion and sustainability of the country's agricultural sector is capable of revamping the nation's economy. The Minister of Agriculture and Rural Development, Audu Ogbe, stated this while speaking on agriculture, the new way of thinking. Ken Egbeluge reports that the Interactive Forum on Agriculture was organized by Justice Development and Peace Commission in Lagos.
The minister recalled that the agricultural industry has a lot of potential to increase the country's earning and provide job for the citizenry. Access to electricity and machinery needed to improve efficiency, the minister agreed, still remain unattainable for many farmers in the country. To this end, the minister expressed government's commitment to repositioning the Bank of Agriculture to enhance its capacity to finance agriculture as a business.
More support for farmers, more access to credit, because we find the farmers are paying back. And for the first time, we now hear farmers, grain growers telling you they are beginning to make money.
Speakers urged the federal government to provide incentives to farmers, particularly graduates, to go into agriculture and see it as lucrative business.
We've got to make available to them land and provide support institutions, both the research ones and the management know-how around farming kinds, and the process of creating those dynamics will give a kind of output that will drive agriculture to self-sufficiency.
The more people get involved in the business of agriculture, the merrier for everybody. So we can begin to reduce our importation of and dependence on foreign foods.
We thought that if government is talking agriculture, the people need to know the policies surrounding agriculture, and the only way for them to know is if you bring government to them.
It was a consensus at the forum that if agriculture is to be a key driver of the nation's economy, government must work towards removing all bottlenecks to the growth of the sector. In Lagos, Ken Egbeluge, NTA News.
And that's our top stories at this moment. The news continues with Tessie in Abuja. Good afternoon, Tessie.
Thank you, Abdullahi. The presidency has refuted the approval of replacements of Chief of Defense Staff, General Gabriel Olonisakin, and Chief of Naval Staff, Vice Admiral Ibok Ete Ibas, as service chiefs. A statement by the Special Advisor to the President on Media and Publicity, Femi Adesina, indicates that the information is unsubstantial. It states that though General Olonisakin is due to retire from the Army next week, having satisfied the official number of years in service, he is yet to be replaced, and the Chief of Naval Staff has a short while more. The presidency, however, cautioned some sections of the media that would rather speculate to double-check information before disseminating it to it, as this is not the way to go for national cohesion and development. Speaker Yakubu Dogara has called on Nigerians to support the families of dead soldiers in whatever capacity they can as a mark of appreciation to the sacrifices of the late soldiers. National Assembly correspondent Ignatius Nkwo reports.
Shortly after being decorated with the Nigerian Armed Forces Remembrance Emblem, Speaker Yakubu Dogara noted that showing support to the families of dead soldiers is the best way to motivate officers and men of the Nigerian Army. He observed that it is the huge sacrifices made by the Nigerian military that has kept Nigeria intact as a nation.
It's the duty of all of us in Nigeria, representatives of the people, entrepreneurs, those in government, the executive government, branch of the government, those in the judiciary, as well as the common man, for all of us to answer this rallying call to duty to ensure that everyone who has suffered, everyone who has sacrificed for this country, including paying the street price, at least it's honored. Doing whatever we can do in fulfillment of our civic responsibilities to ensure that at least people they left behind have a better life.
The Nigerian Legion says one of the major challenges facing the group is the welfare of widows and children of dead soldiers scattered across the country. From the National Assembly, Ignatius Nkwo, NTA News.
The Chief of Air Staff, Air Marshal Sadiq Abubakar, has reiterated commitment to place more emphasis on capacity building and improved welfare for its personnel staff for the effective discharge of their duties. This was at his operational visit to the Headquarters 53 Nigerian Air Force Detachment, Ibadan. Olajide Bello has details.
The Chief of Air Staff, Air Marshal Sadiq Abubakar, made an on-the-spot assessment of facilities at the Headquarters 53 Nigerian Air Force Detachment, from where he proceeded to the Government House, where he was received by the Oyo State Governor, Abiola Ajimobi.
I want to agree to His Excellency the land property we have here in Ibadan. We can have the titles of this land so that we can have the confidence so then we come and start building accommodation for our airmen and airwomen.
He lauded the state government for its support towards the smooth operations of the Nigerian Air Force Detachment, reiterating their resolve to live up to its mandate in the state. Commending the Nigerian Air Force and other armed forces for its gallantry at restoring peace in the northeast, Governor Abiola Ajimobi said the state will continue to partner with security agencies to entrench peace for sustainable growth and development.
I believe that any other development is premised on having security of lives and property.
Air Marshal Sadiq Abubakar also visited the Headquarters Air Force Comprehensive School on an inspection tour.
We have identified those challenges and I promised them that we are going to address these challenges so that we can have a better school for our personnel.
The visit is the first since the Chief of Air Staff assumed office. From Ibadan, Olajide Bello, NTA News.
The cosmopolitan nature of military personnel in their formations serves as catalyst for peace, security and unity in the country. The assertion was made in a message by the Governor of Nasarawa State, Umaru Tanko Almakura, to the Nigerian Army Social Activities Day of 177 Guards Battalion, Kefi. Mohammed Sani Awalu completes the story.
Represented by Secretary to State Government, Umaru Suleiman Azaz, Governor Umaru Almakura says military are vital to peace and security in the country.
And they are so good that they find a time whereby all of them, gather together, and have recreation.
The Commandant, Brigade of Guides, Brigadier General Musa Yusuf, says the annual events afford the officers and men opportunity to have fun and shed their uniform for rich traditional attires and still preserve the Nigerian Army ethics and tradition.
From the cultural groups that have displayed so far, that's to show you that the Barak community are very happy to see to the successful ending of the calendar year 2016.
It is an opportunity to also showcase the rich cultural heritage of our dear country, Nigeria.
Some traditional rulers at the events called for more rapport between the military and citizens.
Event improve unity, love among the civilian and the military. It is an event worthy of coming and worthy of celebration.
Highlights of the event were inspection of dishes of various companies, cultural dance, their debutary, talk of war, and presentation of awards to excel personnel. From Kifi, Muhammad Sanawalu, NTA News.
You can watch this news live online via the NTA mobile app, which you can download on your Android device at the Google Play Store or at the Apple Store if you use devices with iOS. Let's pause for some commercial. Nationwide continues shortly.
From what we have seen, we have the capacity which we can rapidly develop or feed ourselves. If we don't import rice, we start importing corn and other grains, Nigeria will have plenty of money to invest into developing industries, especially manufacturing, textiles and so on, and develop iron and steel, and complement the infrastructure development. So really, the opportunities are virtually limitless, and we are very, very aware of this, and we are prepared to exploit it to the fullest.
Human rights violation and awareness. The way forward is the focus on NTA Tuesday Live this week as experts examine best practices for the protection of human dignity. NTA Tuesday Live, educative, informative, and incisive. Don't be told. Join us.
Chairman of all chairmen. Let me wash your hand for you. Let me take you to Hey! According to Professor Tranquilizer, I am disappointed, aghast, crestfallen, and vanquished at your shameful display.
This week on your award-winning comedy series, Professor John Bull, starring Kanayo Okanayo, Mercy Johnson, Queen Mokoye, Yomi Flash Lanso, Goose Baba.
I'd like to see Mr. Udo Etu.
I hear you now, but find me something.
Are you mad?
I go. Give me some gas you showing your shit.
Oh,
very nice man, generous. Hey, I'll get anything for the guests. Maybe feature something.
Happy weekend, sir. Thank you.
Today is Wednesday.
Professor John Bull, this Tuesday and Friday, 8:30 to 9 p.m. on NTA Network, International, and Star Times.
I'm finished. Who finished you?
So my family is up to a bomb. My family is up to a bomb, kind of man.
Over and out.
Welcome to the new speed of life. Do you crave class? Do you have taste? And do you care about comfort? If you do, then for your next event, a stay away from home, a business trip, or a holiday, visit Jade's Hotel at 24 Undola Crescent, Wuse Zone 5, Abuja. Check out our world-class services, exquisite suites, restaurant and bar, gymnasium, spa, and grills, and our outdoor catering services and cuisines. At Jade's, it can only be better. For bookings and reservations, visit us today at 24 Undola Crescent, Wuse Zone 5, Abuja, or visit www.jadeshotels.com. Our email address is info@jadeshotels.com. You can also call us on 09291-9321 or 0810-909-7956. Jade's Hotels. Welcome to life. Nigeria joins the rest of the world in going digital. This means Nigeria is moving from analog terrestrial TV broadcasting to digital. Now, digital broadcasting gives you clearer pictures, crystal clear sound, and a chance for more channels and more shows to watch. Digital TV is a whole new experience for you and a rich harvest of digital information. Come on, Nigeria going digital. Nigeria going digital. Nigeria's going digital. Coming to Abuja soon.
change. Stand up, Nigeria. Change is here and it's going to stay. Change begins with you. Oh yeah, make we go. Go to so let the change begin from within. Look at you, oh Geruola. Change begins with you and me. Change begins with me. Change begins with me. Change begins with me.
Peaceful celebration of Eid al-Maulud in Jos as Muslims pray for unity and peaceful coexistence of the country. This and more as we join Shehu in our Jos Network Center. Hello, Shehu.
Good afternoon and welcome to Jos. Muslims have been encouraged to pray fervently and always adhere to the teachings and practice of Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, as a sure way to paradise. This was the central message of the 47 Maulud Nabi organized by Jamaatul Nasrul Islam, Plateau State Chapter. Yusuf Umar has the details.
The premises of the Jos Central Mosque is filled to capacity with over 70,000 Muslims commemorating the birth of Prophet Muhammad. The commemoration of the birth of Prophet Muhammad, celebrated every 12th of Rabiul Awwal, is an avenue for Muslims to discuss, appreciate and extol his virtues, lifestyle and what he stands for, especially being the symbol of peace and unity he represents. In their lecture titled Prophet Muhammad, a Symbol of Strength and Unity, Sheikh Mukhtari Adam and Khalifa Tayyib Mushaddid urged Muslims to always do their best in adhering to the teachings of Prophet Muhammad and his exemplary lifestyle. At the celebration were former Minister of State, Information and Communication Ibrahim Desuki Salihu Nakandi, Plateau State Governor represented by Deputy Chief of Staff Yusuf Gambo Hawaja, State Commissioner for Information Muhammad Nazif, among others, encourage Muslims to live a lifestyle worthy of emulation to the younger ones, as exemplified by the Holy Prophets.
Imbibe the spirit of education, whether it is formal education or the informal education. It is only through this system of education that we can be able to overcome the challenges of the recession which we are in.
To respect the religion of one another and to conduct their activities in line with the laws of the land.
There is no any part of the world that Islam has not reached, courtesy of the job of this noble personality.
The event was celebrated peacefully and in orderly atmosphere. In Jos, Yusuf Umar, NTA News.
The Eid al-Maulud celebrations in Plateau State have been generally peaceful, devoid of any breach of law and order. A visit to the Eid al-Maulud Celebration Center, business areas and major streets of Jos by correspondent Kim Gotts showed that celebration was peaceful.
A visit to the Jos Central Mosque, venue of the celebrations, Muslim faithful were immersed under tight security as they marked this year's Eid al-Maulud celebrations in Jos, while at the business nerve center of Jos, Amadou Bellowe, is calm, free of vehicular movement, and business activities are peaceful. This was not different in some major streets in the city center, as our camera lens captured the general public engaged in their normal daily activities. Commandant, Nigerian Security and Civil Defense Corps, Plateau State Command, Solomon Olatupo, and the Police Public Relations Officer, Plateau State Command, Assistant Superintendent of Police, Matthias Tiopef, said officers and men of the agencies have been deployed at strategic locations across the state to ensure a hitch-free Eid al-Maulud celebrations.
We've deployed 2,000 men and officers across the 17 local governments. I mean covering all the 17 local governments.
Everything is calm. We've not recorded any serious incident because I went there myself together with the AC Ops and ACCID, and so far so good. Everything is under control.
The Plateau State Fire Service Office were also on alert for any emergency. In Jos, Kim Gotts, NTA News.
And still on religious matters, Governor Simon Lalong has commended the leadership and efforts of the Christian Association of Nigeria CAN Plateau State Chapter on peace advocacy and reconciliation programs in the state. The governor gave the commendation at the grand finale of the State CAN Unity Service of Prayer and Praise held at the Redeemed Christian Church of God Region 8 headquarters, Jos. Again, Kim Gotts has the details.
This gathering was against the backdrop that over the years, Plateau State has suffered from ethno-religious and political crises, which has negatively affected the peace and socio-economic activities of the state. This necessitated the Christian Association of Nigeria Plateau State Chapter organized worship services tagged Unity Service and Prayers for the 3 senatorial zones in the state. In his goodwill message, Governor Simon Lalong expressed his gratitude to the association over their relentless and unprecedented effort at ensuring unity, progress, and peace returns to the state.
I would not want any civil servant to go to the next year to any areas of salary. I said, head of service, go and beg any bank that can give us any loan. I don't want to go to January with any areas of pension.
Speaking at the occasion, CAN Chairman, Plateau State Chapter, Reverend Soja Biwarang, noting the ill state of the nation, said the purpose of the unity service is to build peace and a viable plateau. Special prayers were said for the state, present economic recession, and the security agencies in the fight against insurgency.
Whatever satanic arrangements against the government of Plateau State, against the citizens of
in Jos, Kim Gotts, NTA News.
And that does it from here. Tessie again takes it from here.
Thank you, Shehu. Investors in the housing sector say they are set to invest in Nigeria. The investors from Sweden were speaking at a forum in the office of the head of civil service of the Federation. They say their decision follows the credibility and willingness of government towards providing affordable housing for Nigerians. Adebola Brookslyn Sunday completes the story.
From all ministries, departments and agencies, these civil servants converged on the office of the head of the civil service of the Federation in pursuit of their homes. With the support of President Muhammadu Buhari, the leadership of the civil service has been engaging housing developers within and outside the country towards providing affordable housing for Nigerians.
So we have a very good comprehension on governments that are willing to work together. We're very strong support of Nigeria, so our confidence is without question.
It will be affordable. We will fit into the FISH program, and the houses that we're building of the highest quality.
The FISH program of the federal government is opened to all civil servants as they are expected to show interest, and the federal government through the Federal Mortgage Bank and the Federal Government Staff Housing Loans Board will assist them in acquiring the property.
That's to tell you that the president and the entire administration is very serious in delivering affordable housing to the people. So civil servants should come in, take advantage of it. There are houses.
We appreciate the president for this initiative, and we pray that God will continue to strengthen him.
To further strengthen the sector, President Muhammadu Buhari approved a 13 billion naira mortgage refinancing loan scheme for civil servants alone.
Should signal to investors at home and abroad the significant opportunities in the Nigerian housing sector.
The Affordable Housing Program initiator says is to motivate the workers and increase their level of productivity. Adebola Brookslyn Sunday, NTA News.
Governor Okowa sues for peace in Baramatu. Let's join Amenze in our Benin studio for these and other reports. Good afternoon, Amenze. It's over to you.
Thank you, Tessie. Good afternoon and welcome to Benin. The governor of Edo State, Godwin Obaseki, has expressed satisfaction with the outcome of the retreat for bureaucrats aimed at setting agenda for his administration. He stated this at the end of the retreat in Benin City. Good luck, and Naimi reports.
The retreat, christened Strategy Dialogue, has professionals from different strata of the society who were grouped into 6 categories and commissioned to examine 6 thematic areas of economic revolution, environmental sustainability, institutional reforms, culture and tourism, among others. At the end of the exercise, the groups gave their recommendations with specific emphasis on running an all-inclusive governance towards building an enduring economy. Governor Obaseki, while commending the participants for their efforts, said government will work with their recommendations, describing it as a catalyst towards achieving the administration's dream for the state.
Today marks the end of what has been the most insightful revelation of the ideas that will propel the state into the future which I envisage.
Some of the participants are hopeful that the outcome of the retreat will benefit the state.
The essence of this is to run an all-inclusive governance both at home and abroad.
We are going to make laws to assist him.
What we can do as those citizens is to join hands with the government.
The retreat has succeeded in providing a roadmap for economic progress in Edo State. In Benin, I am Goodluck Inaini.
Governor Ifeanyi Okowa of Delta State has appealed to Baramotu Kingdom to embrace peace through constructive dialogue with all stakeholders. He said reconciliation is not feasible in an atmosphere of chaos. The governor made this plea while presenting the staff of office to the Oboro Baru and the second Aketekbe Agadagba, the Pere of Baramotu Kingdom. Ifoma Okafo completes the story.
Baramatu Kingdom, blessed with large quantity of oil and gas deposits, but bedeviled by incessant threat of kidnappings and oil pipeline vandalism. To address this menace, Governor Ifeanyi Okowa has journeyed through the waters to drum a message of peace, hope, love and unity to the people.
There is no alternative to peace. There is no alternative to partnership. It is time to heal the wounds.
The Traditional Council and the people of Baramatu Kingdom lamented the abandonment of federal government projects in their area, including the Ogidigbe gas plant, Marine University in Okerenkoko, and the dilapidated Pepama Kokodiabene Road. They also want the state government to prevail on law enforcement agencies to stop the raid of their communities. With the presentation of the staff of office, His Royal Majesty Oboro Barrow II becomes the 26th Pere of Baramatu Kingdom. A special guest of honor, the former president of Nigeria, Goodluck Jonathan, in his goodwill message, emphasized the pivotal role of the traditional rulers in stabilizing their kingdoms.
I will say that there can never be development without peace. And the duty of every traditional ruler is to ensure that you have peace in your kingdom.
Baramatu clan is one of the first Ijaw settlements in the western fringe of the Niger Delta. In Baramatu, Ifoma Okafo, NTA News.
And finally, from the Benin Network Center, the Nigeria Police says its commitment to protecting lives and property of the citizens will not be compromised under any guise. The new Commissioner of Ekiti State Command, Mr. Wilson Inalegu, said this on assumption of duties in Ado Ekiti. Kola Adebobui reports.
It's no doubt that the role of security operatives like the police in coping criminalities and entrenching peaceful atmosphere in any nation is crucial. To further achieve this, the new Commissioner of Police in Ekiti State, on assumption, deemed it necessary to interact with the members of the 4th Estate of the realm to roll out his plans and policies to make Ekiti the safest state in the country. Mr. Inalegu said the command will collaborate with the public to crack criminal activities to ensure security of lives and property.
What do you think we can do to further improve our safety of life and property? And we are looking at zero tolerance completely for crime. We are not aiming at 90% or 99%, we are aiming at 100%. That people everywhere will come to Ekiti and say, look, I want to go and do business in Ekiti.
The police boss noted that, on assumption, the command has mapped out strategies to embark on robust raid operations or suspects at crime-prone areas to wipe out criminal elements in Ekiti, especially during the festive period in Ado Ekiti. Kola Adebobwiji, NTA News.
That report concludes our offering from Benin City. We thank you for watching. Head back to Tessie for more on Nationwide. Good afternoon.
Representatives of 16 African countries are in Abuja, Nigeria, deliberating on how to prevent the infiltration of hazardous chemicals into the continent. Mayor Ogidi was at the opening session of the 4-day program and now reports.
United Nations Environment Program 2016 report shows that about $90 billion will be needed to treat pesticide-related illnesses in sub-Saharan Africa between 2005 to 2020. The Global Chemical Outlook also reports that poisonings from industrial and agricultural chemicals are among the top 5 leading causes of deaths worldwide, contributing to over 1 million deaths annually. Inorganic chemicals, including hydrogen sulfide, sulfuric acid, and hydrochloric acid, are among the air pollutants released in the highest quantities in Africa.
Establishing a sub-regional clearinghouse.
The need to have a clearinghouse for chemicals into West Africa has brought these 16 country representatives from ECOWAS member states in line with provisions of international conventions.
This is an important problem in Africa, how to eliminate the waste that come from developed countries and are piled in our countries.
We must make sure that we have standards for our chemicals, for importing chemicals, for management of chemicals, so that when it comes to even disposal, we'll be able to dispose safely. And we all need a standard to do that.
Whatever decision that is arrived at here will be understood by us, and from that point we'll carry it forward into a lawmaking process.
After 4 days of deliberations, these experts are expected to come up with resolutions for legal backing, which will be binding in all ECOWAS member states. Mie Ogidi, NTA News.
Indigent students get scholarship awards. Details of these and more with Chiogonu in our Enugu Network Center.
Good afternoon, Tessie, and welcome to Enugu. Anambra State Governor Willie Obiano has presented a budget of 115.5 billion naira for the 2017 fiscal year to the State House of Assembly. John Ogwejofor reports that the budget was tagged Budget of Economic Recovery and Inclusive Growth.
The 2017 budget has an 11% increase over the 2016 budget. A large chunk of the budget was allocated to capital expenditure, projected at 58.9 billion naira. Recurrent expenditure got 56.6 billion naira. Road construction and rehabilitation got the highest allocation in the capital expenditure with 24 billion naira, while agriculture got the second highest allocation. Governor Obiano projected the key assumptions that informed the 2017 appropriation bill to include 40.2 billion naira as federal government allocation to the state, 20.4 billion naira state internally generated revenue, as well as 12 billion naira counterpart funding expected from development partners.
While preparing for the 2017 budget, we were guided by the following policy thrusts: stronger collaboration with the federal government, particularly in the areas of social investment, work and infrastructure, education, health and environment.
The governor assured that he will not increase taxes to execute this budget, but will introduce revenue costs to enforce payment of taxes and revenue leakages. After evaluating the key factors that make the budget a people-oriented one, the chairman of the House Committee on Appropriation and the member representing Anambra East constituency, Obinna Emenaka, urged colleagues to accept the budget for the first reading. From the Anambra State House of Assembly, Oka, John Ogwejofor, NTA News.
Diabetes, high blood pressure, smoking, and alcohol have been identified as major factors responsible for vision problems such as cataract and macular degeneration, which are the leading causes of blindness. A professor of ophthalmology at the University of Nigeria Teaching Hospital, Itukuozala, Professor Chimde Choka Ukosa, said this in an event in Enugu. Nkiru Anyefena completes the report.
Eye is a small sense organ, but when it stops functioning, results in loss of self-esteem, personal independence, loss of career, vocational goal and job opportunity, as well as loss of financial security. Studies have shown that regular intake of a well-balanced diet helps to prevent age-related vision problems and maintain a healthy weight. The consultant ophthalmic surgeon, Professor Chimde Chuka Okosa, said when a healthy weight is maintained, Obesity-related diseases such as type 2 diabetes, which are the leading causes of blindness, are prevented. She therefore advocated the regular consumption of green leafy vegetables, oily fish, non-meat protein sources, and fruits, as well as the protection of the eyes from prolonged exposure to the sun for good eyes.
Smoking raises your risk of developing cataract, optic nerve damage, and macular degeneration. Smoking also aggravates dry eyes.
The chairman, Nigerian Institution of Estate Surveyors, Enugu State Branch, and immediate past chairman said the lecture is apt as the need to pay more attention to the eyes and its well-being cannot be overemphasized.
We can always take good care of our eyes, and we can see clearly and be able to be productive and be useful to the society.
We need to be very, very cautious about our sight, about our eye. It requires a routine check and therapies when need arises.
In Enugu, Nkiru Anyefiana, NTA News.
Some indigent students in Udeno Council area of Enugu State have been awarded scholarships to study in various institutions of learning across the nation. The State Commissioner for Education, Professor Ucheze, who made the presentation, described formal education as the key to the future for the Nigerian youths.
The indigent students were selected from the 10 wards that make up Udenu local government area and have successfully secured admissions into institutions of higher learning. The Enugu State Commissioner for Education, Professor Uche Eze, said the scholarship scheme is a huge investment and called on other well-meaning Nigerians to emulate Mr. Ezugu.
Those who give, they don't give because they have more than others. They give because they believe that others should also be assisted.
While presenting checks of about 1.5 million naira to the beneficiaries, the initiator of the scheme and member representing Udenu constituency in Enugu State House of Assembly said despite the current economic challenges in the country, he has made it a priority to assist indigent members of his constituency that desire to further their education.
So long as God keeps providing for us in or out of political arena, I will keep doing it.
Some of the beneficiaries of the scholarship said through the scheme, their dreams of attending high institutions have become a reality.
Without this help, I don't think I would have been at a point I am today.
When I got admission, I was like, what will I do to be able to make it up with school fees and rest of them?
The scholarship awards will see the beneficiaries through the years of their academic program. In Enugu, Jude Abugu, NTA News.
That report wraps it up from here. Tessie, over now to you for more on Nationwide. Good afternoon.
Thank you, Chiagonu. Nigeria Union of Pensioners has appealed to President Muhammadu Buhari to investigate all those who embezzled pension funds and used the recovered funds to offset pension arrears so as to relieve pensioners of their plight. Labour correspondent Emmanuel Ayimiro reports.
The occasion was a season of prayers to God for an improvement in Nigeria's economy, particularly when the nation is striving to overcome economic recession. The union president, Dr. Ebele Afolayan, said pensioners are now the worst hit as so many of them at the state levels are left with nothing because the bailout funds from the federal government do not get to them, as state governors claim the bailout is for salaries.
Local government pensioners, primary school pensioners, there are many of them who have not been paid a kobo in the last 2 to 3 years. So I'm sad, I'm depressed. Our children will not witness this kind of situation. Amen. Our great-grandchildren will not witness this kind of situation. Amen.
There are thousands of genuine pensioners who have not been able to access their money, their monthly pension since the introduction of the e-payment since 2009 to date.
The union also appealed to the federal, state and local governments to step up efforts in the preparation and payment of December pension. before Christmas so as to put smiles on their faces and that of their families. In Abuja, Emmanuel Ayemiro, NTA News.
Gambia's head of election commission stands by the results, affirming Adama Barrow, authentic winner, as Ghana's president-elect Nana Akufo-Addo tinkers with setting up anti-corruption team. For more on global tidbits, let's join Gabriel Odu.
Ghana's president-elect has promised to set up an investigation team to tackle the issue of corruption, insisting he would not do a witch-hunting exercise. While in the Gambia, the head of Gambia's election commission, Aliu Njai, says he stands firm on the election results that gave Adama Barrow victory over President Yahya Jammeh. Jammeh has rejected the results and says his party will head to the Supreme Court. And in Sudan, opposition protesters are calling for a strike as government reduces subsidies on petrol, food and medicine. Away from Africa now, China has expressed deep concern over U.S. President-elect Donald Trump's comment on one China policy, which sees Taiwan as a breakaway province. That's Global Tidbits. Gabriel Udu, NTA News.
Rivers United Football Club of Port Harcourt celebrates 2016 Super 4 tournament victory as opponents emerge in UEFA Champions League and Europe League knockout stages. Kene Emagwadike brings details on Sports Update.
Kenneth Okechukwu has emerged the new champion of the City Sports Club Abuja